WAOH is brought to you in part by Jumpstart Video, online at jumpstartvideo.com.
Hello and welcome to this edition of WAOH TV. My name is Aaron Coleman, and I'm here with Trish O'Connor from Compass North Church, Director of Next Steps, talking about a walk in their shoes coming up a week from today, March 28th at the Goodyear Theater. Trish, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. And take us to the beginning of how this event started and just what it's done to help people throughout its inception.
Okay, gosh, this is our 6th year. So it really was, while I was going through times with my own kids and they were coming out of addiction and they were in treatment, and I was watching some stuff on Facebook about a person in West Virginia that was doing an event called A Walk in Their Shoes. I started asking questions and finding out that it was some speakers and some recovery tables and some music. And I just felt like the Lord was telling me to bring that to Akron. And I went to my pastor and said, I need to borrow the church for a night and I'll do everything. I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like, but he said yes. And so I started meeting people in the recovery workspace and realizing that, you know, the people that are going through addiction, there are a lot of resources for them, but they have to be ready. But the families and the moms and the husbands and the wives and the dads, they all kind of walk around in shame and silence and don't ask questions and don't talk about what's going on. And they all need healing too. So it was my goal to bring all the resources for the addicts and for their families to help them to find the healing that they need. And it really it's grown. The community that we've built in the recovery space, we've started a group called Better Together Akron, where we have over 200 names on that list of resources in the Akron and Summit County community. We have just broadened the network of people that when we have a need, we can reach out and we know a person's name and where they're at, and they'll grab a hold of that person and say, yes, I'll walk you to where you need to be. And it's just been amazing.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. And for those of the people that are viewing this today, talk about some of the resource tables that people can take advantage of. I mean, obviously, there's some that have to deal with addiction recovery, but there's also those that involve like trafficking and things of that sort. Can you expand upon that a little bit?
Sure. I have 50 resource tables signed up for this year, and there's counseling. There is women's facilities that are either recovery houses, sober living houses, battered women's shelters. There's places on talking about suicide, mental health. I even have a lot of kids things this year where the whole family and the children can get involved. And so there's different groups that are coming with help for the youth because they're growing up in the midst of it as well.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, these type of things affect not just the person themselves, but the whole family.
Absolutely.
And, you know, having 50 different resource tables for all different kinds to help all sorts of people is definitely helpful. And one of the things that also stood out to me throughout the 6 years is the fact that it just keeps growing. I mean, you know, I'm sure it started out with just a few tables. In year 1, but here we are in year 6 and there's 50. Just talk to me about how it's grown and things of that sort.
Yes, it is really cool. Just a lot of it is just as you get to know those resource people, then they are introducing other resource people. Some of it is just that they've been to the event. And even I was finishing up my list to get it into the program and get it to the printer this week. And I still had people emailing and texting and saying, can I have a table? Can I have a table?
Yeah.
And so it really is word of mouth and, you know, just other people hearing about it, or maybe they attended last year and now they want to be a part of it. The recovery community is, as people recover, they want to turn around and give back and help somebody else walk out of that space that they used to be in and into a better life. And so it just continues to grow. It's amazing.
Yeah, it certainly is. And aside from the resource tables, what can people expect when they come to the event at the Goodyear Theater March 28th?
There's going to be 4 speakers. So I'm going to speak this year. I have not spoken before. So I'm going to talk about the family and how it affects the whole family. Denny and John Kramer are going to speak on loss by suicide and their walk through recovery. Robin Weiss is going to speak on her experiences in trafficking. And Just a Dad from Akron, Kenny Lambert, is going to be there, and he's going to talk on addiction and how he's gotten through that.
Yeah, Kenny's been on WAOH plenty of times in a lot of different capacities. I know Sarah's talked to him a lot. So it's a wide variety of speakers that are going to be talking about things that, that they've been through as individuals and how they could come out of it.
Yes, absolutely. And we're also going to have signs of different people in the audience and different people from the resource community that are going to make signs that say what their walk was, like 10 years sober, or restored my family, or saved my marriage. And they're going to be a part of it too. So they can see that there's not just the 4 stories that are going to be on the stage, but there's stories all over the audience.
Yeah. How important is that interactive part of it? I mean, obviously, it's one thing to hear the speakers talk about their stories or their family stories, but to have the audience be an active member of what's going on, like, how important is that?
That is really important, because we not only want to provide hope to the people that are sitting there that are thinking nobody else has gone down this road, I'm the only one. We want them to feel the emotion of it and hear their own story in somebody else's. And we also want them to jump in, when they do get better, and to help other people too. So the interaction is huge. And our worship band plays through the whole night, so that allows people to interact with the worship as well. It's a good night.
Yeah, it certainly is. And for those people who need more information, I mean, obviously the event is free, but for those people who are wishing to attend or anything like that, throw out that information so that people can attend.
Yes, we'll be at Goodyear Theater next Friday night. The resource tables are there from 5:45 to 6:45, so they can walk around the tables, get information, and spend an hour with a lot of great people in the room. And then at 7 o'clock, the doors will open into the auditorium. Actually, 6:30, we'll open the doors to the auditorium, and they can get in and start getting their seats, and the event will start at 7. It's at Goodyear Theater, 501 Market Street, and we're going to just have a great night, and it's free, so come and check it out.
Goodyear Theater, March 28th. You don't want to miss it. A walk in their shoes. Trish O'Connor, Director of Steps for Compass North Church, thank you very much for joining us here today. I appreciate your time.
Thanks. You too.
You can catch more interviews like this on WAOH TV, on our social media, as well as WAOHTV.com. For Trish O'Connor, I'm Aaron Coleman saying make it a great day.